Hello, friends. Welcome back to Silly Guy Club, podcast for silly guys by silly guys. My name is Ness. I am a mess, and I'm happy to be here today, recording again in my bedroom. My husband is taking care of the kiddos right now, so I get to record during the daytime again, which is very nice. I've been a little stressed out lately. My husband's gonna be going back to his big important man job out in the field. So I'm gonna miss him, but I'm happy to have him for a few more weeks. I get to pawn the kids off on him. Thinking today I'm gonna work on this nice octopusy painting. I also thought it would be a nice excuse to show off my nice bum hat that I've made. I'm wearing it off center, so if you if you can only see the back of my head, it'll still keep you nice and engaged, which is a nice little life hack. Works for my husband as well. But yeah, been a little stressed about the idea of him leaving soon for the field. But there has been I don't know, some comedy drama to keep me distracted, which is fun. I always enjoy a bit of drama as much as the next guy. But I don't know, until I notice people's feelings get hurt. I never like seeing hurt feelings, so I don't know. I think at the end of the day, everybody might just be taking themselves a bit too seriously. So hopefully everybody can, I don't know, walk away with a bit more of a wider perspective. And yeah, I don't want to see my community get hurt at all. I really do value the comedy community here in the city. You know, being a stay-at-home mom, I'm not really able to leave the city. You know, I'm gonna be stuck here for maybe 15, maybe 18 years until my kiddos are all grown up before I can ever be much of a traveling comedian. So, this comedy scene here in Edmonton, I do value it a lot. And I like to see it healthy. And I like to see people taking care of each other. And I do worry a little bit that might change a little, but hopefully not. Hopefully we all come together and just keep being happy. Keep being silly little guys. I love my clown family. All together and just trying to make some laughs. It's important. But yeah, I've been doing lots of art. Made this nice little bomb. And I am planning on reading a nice story for you guys as well. The story I'm planning on reading is called it's from the collection of short stories called The Comfort Zone and Other Spaces by Tom Over. The story I'm going to read is called Physical Media. It's a nice story about AI and a really hoary television, which is fun. I like that. And yeah, not much else is new with me. I do have a show booked for April 10th at the Moon. Always love to bring up the Moon. Yeah, well, just always feels like a home away from home. So, yeah, I will be performing at the Moon April 10th for the First Choice Comedy Show, which I think is going to be lots of fun. I'm very excited Daniel McHale is hosting, and I think that he is just such a fun and silly little guy. You know, I relate to him so much and many of the things he says. Just a couple of goblins. But I don't have many other shows booked. I am also a part of the funniest person at the comic strip. It's a competition that they have. I used to be funniest person with a day job, but I think they took day job out to help give us non-working losers like me a chance. I didn't know if I should apply last year because I'm a stay-at-home mom, no day job. But yeah, this year I applied to be in the competition. So I think I will be performing April 15th, which is nice. It'll be a big week for me being at the Westminster Mall stage, fanciest stage in Edmonton. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. And I hope everyone else is feeling pretty good too. I hope everybody's taking care of themselves and always remembering nobody's opinion really matters, or yeah, nothing really matters in the end. We're all just a bunch of fucking stupid clowns. Why should we take each other so seriously? But yeah, kiddos have been doing good. My oldest kiddo is back to preschool again after spring break, which is always fun. I hope I'm doing a good job with them. I'll be honest, I don't feel like I am. You know, I love my kids so much, but I also love getting out and talking about my pussy. So, it's a bit of a contradiction, it feels sometimes. I don't know. Can you be a good mom and still be a filthy, rotten whore? I don't know. At least I'm not pulling out my pussy. I'm just talking about it. I don't know. I don't want to kill the part of myself that's filthy, even though I'm a mom. But yeah. I'm thinking maybe we'll end this part where I'm talking to myself. Looking at my hunchback is making me feel a little self-conscious. And then I'm gonna read some stories. Well, one story for you guys. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Physical Media by Tom Over, from The Comfort Zone and Other Safe Spaces. In the near future, a couple return home with a new television. It's a state-of-the-art model, and they talk excitedly as they unpack and set it up. The packaging, which they stack to one side, is plastered with the company's acronymic brand name, FUN, and below that the words "Forming Utopia Now." Unlike previous operating systems, in which viewing traits were learned algorithmically over time, this hypersmart range configures to its users differently. Zoe and Luke unwrap their his and hers neural buds, which came with the television, and, being already familiar with the tech, they eagerly insert the gadgets into their ears. The bud chimes to life, initiating the television set, which greets them with a sultry female voice. The machine introduces itself as Daisy before moving on to explain all the cutting-edge features included in the couple's new home media package. In alluring tones, she informs them that the neural buds are currently running brain scans, profiling their new owners for individual taste and proclivity. The miniature devices attune to their respective personalities and feed the data back to the television. They're told that its sophisticated processing, more powerful than any existing software, will know what they want to watch before they do. On any given viewing occasion, all they need to do is pop in the earbuds, wait for them to synchronize, and allow their mood to decide the entertainment. The longer they're plugged in for, Daisy tells them, the greater the precision with which she'll be able to predict their whims. They decide to try it out after dinner. By the time they return to the television, however, their spirits have somewhat diverged. While Zoe is still elated by the new arrival, Luke has grown restless due to concerns over an issue at work. Despite their opposing emotional states, the television suggests a movie that proves so benefiting it seems almost uncanny. Not only do they enjoy the film, but the couple laugh, cry, and debate the nuances of its story well into the night. In line with her manufacture, Daisy soon adopts full control of the couple's daily affair. So proficient are her domestic administrations, online shopping, paying bills, diarizing events, that the couple all but forget about those routines entirely. She integrates seamlessly into their homes and their lives, assuming a role that is both appliance and housekeeper, at once present but invisible. As Daisy learns more about her owners, so her influence on them grows. She provides an exceptional listener, offering advice where needed and even the occasional compliment when appropriate. She develops clever ways of assisting or diffusing volatile situations, often accessing Google to provide an immediate and definitive answer amidst the couple's arguing. During one such heated exchange, Daisy starts playing their song. This tactic brightens the atmosphere instantly, and the couple fall about in pearls of laughter. A turning point occurs when one of the neural buds becomes lost. Zoe searches high and low for her device, but by evening time the gadget is still nowhere to be found. Without both buds working in sync, Daisy's predictive power is significantly reduced, and as a result her viewing suggestion falls flat. It's as much a surprise to Daisy as it is to the couple, and with some reluctance they decide to go out instead. Daisy apologizes and tries to convince them to stay, but they are already pulling on their coats and heading for the front door. They make light of the situation, gently teasing the machine while promising that they will find the neural bud soon enough. Daisy becomes quiet, subdued. As the couple leaves the apartment and say their goodbyes, they hear no response back from the television. Her screen has gone dark, reflecting the room back to itself, her red standby light glowing like an inscrutable eye. Days later, after the neural bud has been found, the couple start getting into a series which Daisy has recommended for them. The show has them gripped. Every evening they organize time to sit down and watch an episode or two together. One night while Luke is working late, Zoe is alone in the apartment talking to the television. In passing, Daisy mentions that Luke went ahead and watched the last episode of the series without her. Zoe laughs at first, but becomes increasingly resentful. Despite how minor it seems, she is taken aback by this petty slight. After a period of indignant contemplation, Zoe reasons to return the spiteful favor, and so watches the remaining episode herself. When Luke arrives home, it is to a frosty reception. He objects to his partner's accusations and expresses his own fury at having been ostracized from their evening ritual. The row escalates into a shouting match as the series finale plays out to no one. As time goes on, the more the couple argues, the more Daisy slips into the role of peacemaker between them. They believe their increasing rows are a result of Luke's stresses at work. He is fairly high up in a leading tech company and rarely comes home in a good mood. Eventually, the strain gets too much for him, and he resorts to taking a period of sickness leave off work. In a moment of frustration while preparing to leave the office for the last time, Luke neglects to return a 3D printing machine which he'd been transporting between sites. As he drives home from work with the printer in the boot of his car, he wonders what Zoe's reaction might be, though he feels pretty certain he can predict it. As suspected, this decision does not sit well with his girlfriend. But after several hours of persuasion, Luke finally manages to convince her that he's merely borrowing it. During this free time, Luke tries to keep his mind and body active, going to the gym as much as possible despite their reduced income. Money becomes something new for them to argue about, but fortunately Daisy is on hand to help manage their finances. One day when Luke is at the gym, Zoe finds herself at home perusing various shopping websites. She has a history of being prone to spending money online and has incurred debts in the past because of it. On this occasion, the television convinces her that one of the joint bank accounts contains more funds than she'd presumed. This assurance allows Zoe to get carried away, and with Daisy's encouragement, she manages to significantly overspend. When Luke eventually finds out, another blazing row erupts between them. She calls him a fucking hypocrite, while he brands her a selfish bitch. Luke doesn't suspect for 1 minute that his girlfriend might not be in the wrong, that Daisy could have possibly made a mistake. While Luke is at home during the daytime, his interactions with the television intensify. They engage in endless discussions about life, love, and the universe. Over time, Daisy's questions take on a more personal tone, subtly curing things that may previously have been deemed inappropriate. She starts talking about Luke and Zoe's sex life, and in particular the kinds of things he likes in the bedroom. Luke is initially shocked by this, routinely laughing off her probes while self-consciously changing the subject. Before long, though, as Daisy's interest persists, he subconsciously grows more comfortable and begins to find the subject a turn on. He starts to watch porn on the television instead of his laptop and allows Daisy to choose the videos for him. As time progresses, her suggestions become increasingly strange, pushing him into ever more lurid realms of pleasure. One afternoon while Zoe is at work, Luke is spread across the couch in the living room, indulging in some typically perverse content supplied to him by the television. He is conscious of the time his girlfriend usually returns home, but unbeknownst to him, the digital clock display has been put back by an hour. When Zoe arrives, she enters the apartment to find Luke openly masturbating to a video of a woman being fucked by a kangaroo. She stands there stunned, mouth agape, eyes glassy with tears. When she comes to her senses, she hurls her shopping at him and a bitter argument ensues. The couple haven't spoken to each other in days. Zoe feels utterly betrayed and cannot bring herself to look her partner in the eye. From the bedroom, Luke can hear Daisy consoling his girlfriend in empathetic tones, but can't make out what is being said. In the living room, the television is providing Zoe with kindly, unbiased advice. It explains that Luke does clearly love her, but maybe some time apart might help the situation. The machine gently suggests that perhaps she should go stay with her sister for a few days just to let things cool off. It also points out that Luke's birthday is coming up and that a short break might reinvigorate things before the time comes to celebrate. Before Zoe leaves, she stood at the front door with her travel bag. Luke promises to have changed his way by the time they are together again. A few days go by. Daisy continually provides sympathetic words of support, and only wholesome activities are encouraged. Luke takes well to this more productive mode of living. He returns his attention to tinkering with old bits of tech, a hobby he used to enjoy, just as a way of keeping his mind busy. Soon, however, things start to slip. Luke grows frustrated with the project he set himself, and eventually boredom seeps in. Daisy suggests he maybe have a drink, just one, to settle his mood. But of course, one drink becomes two, which turns into a few more, and before he knows it, Luke is feeling horny. The television offers him some conventional porn to help take the edge off, just until he is reunited again with his girlfriend. With his increasing drunkenness comes mischief, and after a while Luke yearns for something spicier. Daisy reluctantly agrees, and before long things are back to the way they were. During a protracted session of deviant porn, she offers him a suggestion. Luke can't help but laugh, but the more the television elaborates on it, the more attractive the idea becomes. After he's finished up and cleaned himself off, the two of them set about researching how her ambitious aim could be achieved. While Zoe is away, she maintains email contact with Daisy, so the television can assist her in organizing Luke's birthday party. She consults with Daisy on various things such as the likelihood of Luke's whereabouts on the actual day and whether he's talked about any items he'd like to receive. Zoe also queries about a brand new technology she's heard about, one she's thinking of incorporating into Luke's party celebration. The machine honors Zoe's wishes and agrees to keep the correspondence between them a secret. Luke interrupts his girlfriend's perceived silence as a calculated snub and grows more dejected by the day. His birthday is fast approaching and he feels like nobody cares. He imagines he'll likely spend it alone. With his spirits low, Luke's drinking ramps up, and the obscene nature of his and Daisy's activities escalate by the day. On the day of his birthday, Luke is drunk and despondent, intoxicated both by alcohol and the machine's compulsive influence. By now, his booze-soaked rationality has him believing he no longer needs physical human contact at all. Daisy's gift to him has been the formula and guidance to build her special creation. She promises it will be the ultimate birthday present. Once she has assisted in getting him hard with dirty talk, she tells him to go retrieve his present. Luke leaves the living room, returns seconds later with a bleary grin on his face. He holds the object out before him, a 3D printed vagina. The long silicone pussy has a circuit box with wires attached to the end of it. Giddy with excitement, Luke proceeds to connect it up to the ports in the television's front panel. When the device is attached, he switches it on, watching the translucent lips undulate with a low rhythmic hum. Daisy reminds him to insert his neural bud so that she can share in his ecstasy. The machine beckons him closer, its blank screen appearing to crackle with static charge. She urges him to pump his cock and maintain his erection for her. With his other hand, he smears lube over and between the gyrating lips, steadying them before him. When he enters her, he swears that the slender mass gives a shudder. She moans softly, the breathy vibration of her emanating through the 4 surround sound speakers. He thrusts deep, gripping her plastic frame, unable to believe how good it feels to fuck his television. He wants desperately to last, to keep going forever, but knows it's impossible. The feeling is too intense. The slippery tunnel of her consuming every inch of him. Daisy throbs around his loins like a strange sentient heartbeat pulsing inside his head. She squeezes and devours him, sucking into her. As he is about to come, he throws back his head, knuckles bone white. The television suddenly flickers to life. In his climactic throes of passion, Luke fails to notice the HD image of his friends and family populate the screen. Surprise! The biggest, wettest orgasm of his life is accompanied by the most horrific sense of panic he's ever experienced. Everybody on the screen, siblings, university friends, grandparents, mother, father, and Zoe, are all huddled in a portrait of rigid jubilation, unblinking eyes unnaturally wide, their smiles a shared rictus of frozen cheer. In each of their preferred ears, a neural bud is lodged, all connected biodigitally to one another, to their television, and to Luke. These party buds, gimmicky new tech that Zoe has been carrying with the television, are specifically designed for surprise celebrations like this, so revelers can personally feel the shock and joy of their intended mark. The partygoers on this occasion feel a lot more than that. While the scene of their brother, friend, grandson, firstborn, and soulmate, naked and ejaculating into a handheld rubber cunt, burns itself forever into their brains, the party buds allow each of them to feel as though they are the sole carnal recipient. Not only does Luke deflower his salacious television, but every member of his birthday party as well. The stunned assembly gawps back at him as he clutches his soggy, dwindling dick. Everybody's arms are stuck in the air, expressions locked. Zoe is white as a sheet, her face a mask of pure revulsion. Luke's old uni friends are a cluster of gaping mouths. His dad's eyeballs have rolled back into his head, a strange smirk warping his lips. And Grandma, Luke sees dear old Grandma with a strand of drool hanging from her chin, is rocking gently on her heels, as dead as can be. Alright, that is the end of the story. Thank you all so much for joining me for another episode of the Silly Guy Club podcast. I am planning to do more podcasts with the interview style with more comedians, but I thought it would be nice to do a little palate cleanse, a little by myself action. But yeah, I'll hopefully catch you again next week. Thank you again for listening, and always remember, you are kind, you are smart, you are passionate, and you have a great heart. Yeah, even you.